Did you know that almost everything you love about Halloween has a dark, twisted, and totally insane origin story? I'm talking about ancient rituals, deals with the devil and people so scared they invented traditions just to survive the night. Today, we're going on a crazy deep dive into the most mind-blowing Halloween facts ever. We're not just talking about a little trivia, we're uncovering secrets that have been buried for thousands of years. I spent a ton of money and time digging up these 15 facts, and trust me, some of them are so weird you won't believe they're real. Get ready, because after this video, you'll never look at a jack-o'-lantern or a piece of candy corn the same way again. These Halloween facts will give you chills. So if you think you know Halloween, I challenge you to watch this entire video. For every fact you already knew, I will personally be shocked. We've got everything from spooky ancient festivals to why we carve pumpkins and even the real reason haunted houses exist. It's going to be an absolute roller coaster of creepy, weird, and fascinating information. We're going to explore legends, myths, and some straight-up bizarre history. I've gathered my team, and we've researched every single one of these facts to make sure they are 100% legit and 100% insane. This isn't your average boring documentary. We're making history exciting, fast-paced, and a little bit terrifying. Are you ready to have your mind blown? Because we're starting this spooky journey right now, and the first fact alone is worth the price of admission, which is, free. So smash that like button and let's get into it. Alright, let's start at the very beginning, and I mean the very beginning. Halloween isn't just some modern holiday. It actually goes back 2,000 years to an ancient Celtic festival called Samhain. Picture this. It's the end of summer, the harvest is done, the world is getting cold and dark. The Celts believed that on this one night, October 31st, the wall between our world and the spirit world completely dissolved. It was like a giant invisible door swung open, and ghosts, demons, all sorts of supernatural beings could just walk right into our world and cause absolute chaos. It was the most dangerous night of the year. To deal with this ghostly invasion, Celtic priests, known as druids, would build enormous sacred bonfires. People would gather around these massive fires, wearing crazy costumes made of animal heads and skins, not for fun, but as a disguise. They believed that if they looked like spirits themselves, the real evil spirits would leave them alone. So you think trick-or-treating is all about getting candy? Think again. The real origin is way creepier. It's called souling. Back in the Middle Ages, in England, in Ireland, on All Hallows Eve, poor children, adults, going door to door but not yelling trick or treat. They were begging for food, specifically little round pastries called soul cakes. It was a transaction, a supernatural deal. In exchange for a cake, the person, known as a souler, promised to pray for the souls of the homeowner's dead relatives. Have you ever wondered why black cats are the unofficial mascots of Halloween? It's not because they're naturally spooky, it's because of a massive, centuries-old smear campaign. During the Middle Ages, paranoia about witchcraft was at an all-time high. People believed powerful witches could shapeshift into animals, often a sleek, sneaky black cat. This belief became a huge problem for cats. The superstition got worse when one story spread like wildfire. A son in the 1560s threw rocks at a black cat. The cat limped into the home of a woman suspected of being a witch. The next day she was bruised and limping the same way. That was it. From then on, black cats were called familiars, demonic animal companions that helped witches' evil magic. People started associating them with bad luck, curses, the devil himself. That unfair, spooky reputation still follows them today. For most of us, Halloween is all about fun scares, haunted houses, horror movies, things that go bump in the night. But for some people, the fear is very, very real. There's a recognized psychological condition called Samhainophobia, the intense, irrational fear of Halloween. And I'm not talking about just being a little jumpy. People with this phobia can experience full-blown panic attacks, shortness of breath, an overwhelming sense of dread just from seeing Halloween decorations or someone in a costume. Love it or hate it, you can't deny this next one is an absolute icon of Halloween. I'm talking about candy corn. Did you know this controversial little triangle of sugar was invented in the 1880s? A guy at the Wunderlich Candy Company, George Renninger, came up with it. About half of all Americans were farmers back then, so a candy that looked like a kernel of corn was a genius marketing move. It was called chicken feed at first. Bobbing for apples seems like such a classic innocent Halloween game, right? Well, its origins are actually rooted in love magic and fortune-telling. The tradition comes from the Romans, who after conquering the Celtic lands, brought their own festivals with them. One of their festivals, held around the same time as Samhain, honored Pomona, the goddess of fruit trees and the harvest. The apple was her symbol, and it was associated with love and fertility. Why do we carve faces into pumpkins and call them jack-o'-lanterns? Well, it all comes from a spooky Irish legend about a man named Stingy Jack. Jack was a miserable, Jack was a drunk. Jack was a trickster who loved playing pranks on everyone, even the devil himself. The story goes that Jack tricked the devil into climbing an apple tree, then trapped him by carving a cross into the trunk. Jack made a deal. He'd only let the devil down if the devil promised never to take his soul. The devil, furious but stuck, agreed. Years later, Jack died and was turned away from heaven for his sins. He went to hell, but the devil kept his promise and refused his soul. Cursed to wander between good and evil, Jack had nowhere to go. The devil tossed him a single burning coal from the fires of hell. Jack put the coal inside a hollowed-out turnip and has been roaming the world ever since. The Irish called him Jack of the Lantern. People started carving scary faces into turnips. People carved faces into potatoes. Those carved lanterns eventually morphed into the pumpkins we know today. Bats and Halloween go together like peanut butter and jelly, but why are these flying mammals so spooky? Once again, it all goes back to those ancient Samhain festivals. The huge bonfires the Druids built to ward off evil spirits would attract massive swarms of insects. And what loves to feast on insects at night? Bats. Have you ever stopped to think about why orange and black are the official colors of Halloween? It's not a random choice. It's actually a deeply symbolic combination that goes right back to the festival of Samhain. These two colors represent the two sides of the holiday: life, death, light, darkness. Orange represents the harvest, the end of summer, and the warmth of life. It's the color of pumpkins. While we're carving pumpkins, another incredible celebration is happening that overlaps with Halloween, and it's Mexico's Dia de los Muertos, or the Day of the Dead. It's not the Mexican Halloween. It's a beautiful and vibrant two-day holiday where families honor their deceased loved ones. One of the most iconic symbols of Dia de los Muertos is the sugar skull. Going to a haunted house attraction is a Halloween staple. But they weren't invented to be fun. They were invented to stop kids from destroying stuff. During the 1920s and 30s, Halloween was basically a night of chaos. It was known as Mischief Night. Pranks often crossed the line into serious vandalism and violence. Spiders are another creature that sends shivers down our spines on Halloween, and there's a creepy folklore reason for it. An ancient belief, found in many different cultures, said spiders were deeply connected to the spirit world. Finding a spider in your home, especially on Halloween, was thought to mean a deceased loved one was watching over you. A full moon on Halloween night is, honestly, the ultimate horror movie cliché. It just sets the perfect spooky mood, right? But in reality, it's actually an incredibly rare event. So rare, in fact, that it only happens roughly every 19 years. Why do we spend so much time and money picking out the perfect Halloween costume? These days it's for fun, but originally it was actually a matter of life and death. Going back again to the ancient Celts and their festival of Samhain, they believed that on October 31st, the world was flooded with ghosts, fairies, demons. They were honestly terrified of running into one of these malevolent spirits, so they came up with a genius plan for self-defense. They started wearing costumes. Carving pumpkins is honestly one of the best parts of Halloween, but it creates an absolutely insane amount of waste. In the United States alone, it's estimated that over 1 billion pounds, that's 150,000 tons, of pumpkin ends up in landfills every single year after Halloween. And there you have it. 15 insane facts that completely change how you see Halloween. Please destroy that like button and subscribe to the channel for more daily weird wise facts. Thanks for watching, and have a spooky, and now very informed Halloween.